this regular meeting for the Economic Development Commission to order. We will start with roll call to my left.
Shannon Fagan, Economic Development Director. Steve Starosha.
Tom Sienkiewicz.
June Gagné.
All right. Approval of the meeting minutes from the February 20th, 2025 meeting. Copies are available here. They were posted a while ago. I know I had time to review them. Any questions, comments on the meeting minutes?
I'll make a motion to accept them.
Okay, motion to accept. Is there a second? Second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Motion carries. Next item, D, public participation.
First of all, thank you all for being here tonight. I know we have a new member of the board, so I just wanted to kind of get an idea and clarify some things where we are, the direction you're going. The types of businesses that you're looking to vet out and make sure that they're something you want to have in the town of Plainfield. And something that was brought up to my attention a few years ago, Trav Harmon, you had sent me an email concerning due to the rise of Dollar Generals in the area, the low-cost chain stores. They were discussed throughout social media as a citizen requesting an ordinance to the town be implemented to prevent or curtail the growth of a class of businesses to prevent corporate abuse. So I'm asking that we have an open mind, that we consider the types of businesses that come in as a whole, because you're not going to get businesses from Rodeo Drive, probably, because of their distinction of who they are. You're not going to get the Brooks Brothers, you're not going to get somebody coming in from Dolce & Gabbana or places like that. But you may get other types of businesses that come in, and we shouldn't really sit down and classify as to what level they are at. That's my opinion. I think we should be open-minded, and especially from an economic development standpoint, that would be appreciated. Okay, that's it.
Thank you, Kevin. I do agree that, yes, the commission, all commission members need to be open-minded. I think thus far, since we've kind of rebooted the commission and got it going, I think we've had some very good discussions, about what we hope to see. And definitely need to keep an open mind and be optimistic. Because, the key is that while we may not always personally, in our own opinion, want certain businesses to come in town, if they're contributing to the tax base, they're bringing jobs, they're helping the town out, we need to realize that before saying anything. So, thank you. All right, next item is reports. Shannon.
Okay, so I gave everyone the monthly newsletter, so I'll just go through that. We applied for the SIF round 6 back in December for Introil. We are not allowed to do a public press release right now, but we have been recommended to receive $8 million through the SIF fund, which is amazing. We will know for sure in June. The governor just has to sign off on it at the State Bond Commission. After speaking with a state, I don't know, she's like
official. State official.
Yeah, our state official, and she's like the director of SIF. She told us to apply for brownfields, that program again, which we've already received funding prior. She wants us to apply for the full $6 million of what our budget was for that project to hopefully get the entire $14.6 million that we were hoping for. So which is great news for Introil. So hopefully, we already have our $300,000 currently working on that. So we are working on remediation. We are out to bid for targeted cleanup right now to remove some of the garden sheds that are there. And then with that $8 million, as long as everything gets approved in June, which we are hopeful it will, we should see a lot more movement on that property, which is amazing. The developer is still interested in the property, which again is great news. So that one's still going on. We just applied for the fiscal year 2026 historic records. So that is for the town clerk to back scan land records. That way people can access them online and it's not all old books. So I believe this would get us to, I forgot what year now. But we're going to have our deputy town clerk, Autumn. She's going to do all the scanning to help save money because we have been contracting out prior years. But we found out this grant will cover for our staff to be able to work on this project, which is great. We applied for the Eastern Connecticut Savings Bank Foundation. That would be for the Moose Up Rotary Park mural. we did 5,000. Pending applications that we're currently working on that have not been submitted yet is the community connectivity grant. That one is for sidewalks that will connect down from Shepherd Hill where they stopped it, down to Oregon. The firehouse grant, that will be for the police. They are interested in UTV, so we'll be applying for that. And then the Title III grant, that one is for our senior programs. That funds our monthly podiatrist that comes in, our evidence-based program, which is Walk the Bees, which is Monday, Wednesday, Friday, as well as our transportation program. Current projects that we have going on, like I said, we have the Intrail one, that's still going on. Lions Park, we are hoping to get bathrooms in there soon. That funding expires in November of this year. Plainfield Pavilion, we are working on that one. We haven't gone out. We did originally go out to bid a while ago, which, as we know, it came back with a ridiculous $3 million figure. So we're trying to rework that to stay within the $500,000 budget. Cape Downing Open Space, we are out to bid for that for conceptual design. That bid closes March 31st. So hopefully we'll have a vendor hired by our next meeting to do conceptual design. That is all grant funded. Once the conceptual design is complete, we can go out to bid for an actual engineering firm to see the feasibility of that project. The Rotary Park mural, we're in our funding stages right now. The estimated cost of that project will be $25,000. We will not use any taxpayer money on that. We are going for bank foundations, any grants we can find, sponsorships, whatever we can work on to get it. It's going to pay kind of, we had a meeting, what was it, last month or something?
Yep, we did have a meeting.
And it has a good concept right now. We're working with Rise Up, and they're going to help us create the design for it. So once we have more concrete stuff, I'll definitely share with you guys. And then this branches us into the ARPA program, which is the next thing. We did have a little change in the figures. So the used all funds and completed report has gone up because Cloud9 has officially used all of their funds up as of today. So that's good. We only have 23.5% of business, which I believe is like 4 of the businesses, have less than 50% used. It's mostly because they are waiting for contractors to get them scheduled and their orders to come in. And then the other one who has not used anything would be the Aldrich Library, and they're using that for a grant match. Any questions about?
Yeah, the 8 million,
Yes.
do you have to walk through each phase of that? Do you personally have to oversee this whole thing
I
as
will
a
be,
grant
yeah.
writer?
Yeah.
I'm just curious, I'm curious because it's such a huge thing.
Yeah,
It really is. This is
Yeah, it's a little overwhelming, but we're excited to see it. So we're going to phase it out, and we're going to kind of
clean up, meaning the first thing will be cleaning.
Yeah, so it's going to be, we're going to see where we're left after the 300,000 remediation, because they're going to do like, we have PCBs over there. There's, I think it's like cut wires are just bagged up in the middle of one of the buildings, and they're all over the floor. So that's a part of this cleanup. And then we'll go from there, and we'll remediate what they can. They're going to demolish some of the buildings that aren't salvageable. We did a structural analysis back in November, and so we kind of know what's the developer can keep, what they have to get rid of. So we'll demolish what we can, save what we can. We do want to keep it historic still as long as it's safe. And we'll go from there. So we start with remediation and then demolition. So super exciting.
Yeah, no, I was thinking it's a lot of money.
Yeah, it's a lot.
A lot of, to spend in the right directions.
Yeah.
To do it in the phase that you need to.
Yeah. And I did ask the grant administrators if there's a timeline, because some of them, like
Right.
for Lions Park, it's 3 years. It's all they want to see. They said they'll work on a timeline with us that's
Okay.
feasible for the project. So they're not going to say we have to expense all $8 million in 2 years. That is not possible.
Right, right.
Because it's taking us a couple of years just to get through the 250,000. So it's a long process. You have to go out to bid. It takes them a while to complete their work.
Right.
Because it's for a structural analysis, it took them, I think, a month and a half to fully complete.
Yep.
And that was on a strict timeline. Like, we needed it for our SIF application. We're like, you need to be done by this day, and it's still a month and a half. So it takes a while.
But no, it's definitely great. I mean, that plant's been closed since 1985. It's, most of it burned down in 2005, and so it's been sitting there a long, long
Yeah.
time. And so
Yeah.
it'd be great to see closure finally brought to that development.
Yeah, well, yes.
Tom, would you mind if I say a few words here? I think it might be good for the panel to see the plans and what we are being proposed with the business owner, because there has to be a process by which you go through to get this all transpired over. The $6 million that we're looking for the brownfield would also require us to do a few steps, which we had planned on doing anyway. We have to take the ownership over to then be sold to this developer. So we have to have a town meeting for that. But I think it would be good for us to show the plans that he put forth to us, so you understand what's going to be going on over there. And then the next thing would be, we can also present, it was something we're going to present anyway as a part of the announcement publicly, but it's something good for you to see what is going to go over there.
So do we want to have that as like an item at one of our upcoming meetings?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, it really would be good to get a good feel of what they're looking to do, because right now I can tell you what it is, but you can't visualize it.
Yeah.
But the quick answer is he wants to take ownership of the property, to have the full cleanup using as much money as possible, and then he would like to develop it with his money and his backers' money to put up the 32 units of apartments, the old R&D building, a restaurant, and the biggest thing, which is the indoor sports complexes, which is a huge indoor soccer field that could be multi-purpose. So then he also wants to donate some of the land to the town of Plainfield so we could use it for parking as well. So I think that would be a great thing to show, so you really get to visualize what the project looks like. And actually two other things for an update, and we really haven't talked much about this, but you mentioned the community connectivity grant for the sidewalks to downtown Warrigan. It's a safety issue, number one, but it's also a way for the pathway for the people who are living in Warrigan to walk up the road, not just the houses that you see, because there's a verbal agreement and a signing on April 2nd. The Warrigan Mills, known as C&M Mills, has solar. And the gentleman there wants to come with a plan to put up 240 apartments once we get the drafted information to share with you as well. So that's an important piece as well for putting up the sidewalks. And the other one was, we received information from the state of Connecticut. There's a gentleman who is now on a task force from the governor, who is in charge of manufacturing. There's a new CEO for Command, because they've sold, but they have a new CEO. And so the governor's task force reached out to the new CEO, said, what can we do to help Command? He goes, well, I have a problem in Plainfield. It's in Moosup, Command site. So we are meeting on the 22nd of April with the state of Connecticut, with the land bank. So if you didn't know, it's coming. We're also working with the attorneys for Command and the CEO for Command in the town of Plainfield. They said in their email, we want to put it back on the tax rolls as soon as possible. They've identified already where the sites, and by the way, there are 7 sites in the Interoil area that are designated as here are the sites where there's contaminants. But the same thing is done with the sites for Command. The problem with that is that we still have to do the assessments, phase 2, phase 3 assessments over there. Once those are completed, then you know exactly where you're going to go from there and how the next steps are. I just wanted to say that that's something that is definitely coming. I also had sites across the street from where that is. That was the parking lot they used to use for bus training, for fire training, stuff like that. Their concern over there is that it is no longer under TD Development, which was the company that had the property. It's sold to a different company called Provident Inc., or Provident LLC. So we believe it's the same group because they haven't paid taxes. Once the filing was done from the TD Development, they went bankrupt. That same company, Provident, didn't pay taxes. That may end up on a tax sale for the town of Plainfield, but it's something to consider because that's another site that could utilize space for housing or anything really. But we're hoping that those two things will come to fruition very soon. I'll keep you up to date on those, and we'll see what happens. So thank you for the time.
Yeah, Shannon, just let me know which month we're going to be shooting for, to have that, and because that way we won't add too much to that meeting agenda, so make sure. All right, and anything else else for reports?
No, that was it, unless anyone else had more questions.
All right. Next up, under new business, business of the year. So you'll see Shannon made a copy for us of the form, which we had been discussing at previous meetings. Anything you want to mention specifically about it, Shannon?
I eliminated, we had 4 questions before, but 2 and 3 were repetitive, so I just deleted the 3rd one, make it shorter, because I found people weren't really answering it anyways. And the longer the form is, the less people are going to do it, because they want quick and easy. We did that, we will have a Celebrate Plainfield Day, which is September 13th, and I put August 18th, and it's the Monday before our meeting for August. That way we decide, because they don't need, it's like, I think it took them a week to do the plaque.
Yeah. So I see you got the line down there about when it will, be submitted, when presented. But you
Okay, I got you up there.
Yeah,
Okay,
you want to make
perfect.
sure you update the top. That's our tree line. Any questions or comments from the members on the form?
I remember last time we talked about, we wanted to add an additional nomination for like a volunteer.
Yeah, I personally thought that was a good idea, just because, I can see for years and years, because we only present one of these, I can think of, like, in the next 12 years, different businesses in town that come to mind that, been here a long time, have a great base, have contributed to the community for a long time, deserve recognition, but at the end of the day, every year we're going to have to consolidate down to which one, so I thought maybe recognizing volunteer groups, an organization, is another way we can, give our thanks, certainly as a town to those organizations.
Is there funding for those 2 plaques, 2 awards?
Trav, any comments on business of the year?
I have not enough information to present an intelligent answer.
Okay. Well, let me know if you got any questions or any thoughts. I know the big thing now is we definitely want to encourage, because even though we've been doing it the past couple of years, there's still businesses out there, people out there don't even realize that we do it. They don't know, like, what are you going to do to submit an award? When's the deadline? How do you do it? What do you get? So, that's certainly a thing of, if you think, businesses that should be recognized, consider talking to them. Consider saying, like, hey, just to let you know, this recognition is out there.
Do we promote it?
Right, that's what basically saying, promoting.
Yeah.
But we also promote it, of course, on the website.
Yeah, we do website, Facebook, and this year we'll do the Turnpike Fire, because we saw success with the Cape Downing survey in it, so we'll do that with us.
Okay.
And we moved the date, because the date of presentation in the dark out there in the park didn't work. So, during the tree lighting, we had...
It also helps to
dark.
just...
You know that crowd? It's
Yeah.
right out there, it's dark.
Yeah.
Yeah, then they get rowdy and then people...
Well,
they-
There's a lot of things going on.
Yeah, exactly.
Too many things.
Correct.
So we figured if we have it, what's that? Yeah,
Focus
it was
your
cold.
attention.
It was,
Right,
it
right,
was
right.
nice, it was nice to see that.
The nice thing with the Celebrate Plainfield
It was
is we
a
start
beautiful
off with an opening, we usually do the national anthem, we do the pledge, do maybe an opening prayer or something like that, and then that's a great segue into, let's also do a quick presentation, because you got everybody's attention at that point.
Right, in the beginning of the event.
Yep.
So that's why it's been moved. But it gives us plenty of time.
Yes.
Or so we think. August looks far away.
Very true.
You'd be surprised how fast the time...
Yeah. Next item is upcoming events. I saw that Shannon made a list for us, which is helpful.
So I gave you flyers for upcoming events that we have flyers for. The list is stuff that we don't have flyers for yet, but I figured you guys should know about them.
Be Happy and Be Well
Yes.
Festival. Is this something new?
They did it last year for the first time. So we have, during correspondence, we'll have, Tom will read the emails from the rec department.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
On the Memorial Day Parade, Kevin, did you want any participation or help from any boards or commissions on that?
Anybody that wants to join is fine. I think it would be a great thing. Right now we have 23 different groups. So, yes, if you want help to promote any of the boards and commissions, that would be great.
Can you confirm the day and time for that one?
Sunday, March 20, May 25th, I keep saying March, May 25th, 1 PM at the Central School, lining up over there. It'll be, we've already got permission from the town, the state, roads, and also the rails, who will hold off on moving traffic back and forth. But yeah, we'll be able to go through and down to the park here. Any of the floats or buses or anything like that that we need to move out of the way, we'll go around the Lions track. We'll come back over and they'll have hopefully just 2 speakers and make it short and brief. But we also anticipate having the National Honor Society and maybe the Veterans Coffee House we have 110 U.S. flags. We'd like to be able to line it around the park out here and along down the street. So something a little extra. But yeah, definitely if any boards, commissions wish to join, I think that would be a great idea.
Okay.
And that's a Sunday, right?
Yep, it's Sunday
At 1?
at 1. No rain.
Well, yeah, we had one year
Yeah.
in the rain, and
remember that. Ann
they
was
get
walking.
so many views that parade. I don't know why, it was just,
Yeah, we just walked to the VFW.
yeah, just umbrella and everyone watched.
We're going to offer light refreshments immediately following the event here in the town hall, so that way, rain or shine, at least they can come in.
And then, as Shannon also gave us the information on, we got some upcoming ribbon cuttings coming up. I am going to try to make both the 12th for Hope and then the 19th for Bubbles. So we encourage all the members, certainly, we all got different schedules, very busy schedules, but if you can make it, it's certainly great to have representation from EDC at these events.
Maybe we should have a demonstration of somebody's, like your car. That would look cool going through.
That's a great idea.
He's got a vintage automobile.
All right. So that's all we have on upcoming events. Next item is EDC action plan. So I wanted to add this as an item, just part of it is because we hadn't discussed it for several months, but also we have a new member being Trav. Just wanted to give everyone the opportunity to, if they had any comments or thoughts on that. The action plan exists. We should be periodically reviewing it, and like I said, I know we have before. But if there's any comments or thoughts from any of the members on this, please feel free to bring it to the meeting, and we can discuss how we want to implement parts of the action plan. A lot of them, of course, are already being done. It just helps to mention them again. One of the sections, of course, is support businesses affected by COVID-19. Seems like that was a while ago.
Yes,
But,
well, this was made during that time.
yeah.
Actually, I think that goal was pretty well met
Mhm.
at the time. Whatever was open
Yeah.
was still supported.
Try one of the things that Shannon had done at the last meeting for us is she provided us with the list of businesses. I don't know if okay, so you have a copy of that. So that's one of the things that we'll be talking about ongoing too, is the idea is, we're not necessarily going to hit every single one on there, but if each member could, take a look at it, and if there's a specific, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 that, maybe you personally wouldn't mind reaching out to, it's kind of to help increase engagement between the commission and the businesses, because we know that, businesses are not going to pile up here for, to come see us. But we
You're too
can
busy.
Right, too busy, right. But we can certainly, as members, go support them and also just introduce ourselves and be like, hey, we exist, we want to be here to help, what could we do? What would you like to see? And come back, obviously, to the meeting with feedback. and ideas. So, just something to keep in mind.
I got a question about that,
Mhm.
on the grants. Do we encounter grants that even though we're not seeking it out, could help other people that we have not engaged with?
Think about as far as like businesses.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's just not a lot of grants out there for for-profit businesses. There was a lot during COVID, but once that dried up, there's not a lot. If there's ever any loan programs or grants that do come up, we reach out to them to get the information out as we can. We also will support any businesses. I know there's been some businesses that have looked into like solar panel assistance, so we'll support anything they need. I'll help them co-write applications. We've co-written with the American Legion Ambulance before, fire departments as needed. In the future, the Veterans Coffee House. So if people need help, they'll just reach out to me and I'll help them as I can and locate some stuff for them. And then we have a new business come into town. They get like a business resource guide, which is also on our website, that connects them to PBA, chambers, and then other local nonprofits that help out with any business resources they may need.
Like the one that came in the other day was a gentleman who lives up on Maple who said that they have a issue with their water tank. It's a shared water tank with 6 people on it. And they're asking for help and support to try to either re-engineer it or to hook up to Connecticut water. Obviously, that's a huge cost. So whatever we can do to help them, we look in every avenue possible.
And Shannon, can you mention again, as I know we've talked about previously, what are we doing this year working on marketing, to help with marketing for the town?
Yep, so we are doing, we actually just officially hired our videographer for the town. We will have them contracted for 1 year. They will attend all of our recreation big events that we have. They'll attend Celebrate Plainfield Day. They will take photos, drone footage, and go around with their cameras and take videos of everything. They will post them either in Reels, so little short videos that we post on our social media website, or for bigger events, they'll do a longer video. Do it. We're going to have one video dedicated to the Historical Society, so we're going to have them talk about the history of the town, and then they'll talking about, which I think would be great, and we're going to have Ruth talk about it, that we can have stuff documented from her, which will be awesome. And then we're going to go into businesses, so do a day like in Plainfield, so we'll get breakfast, go get coffee, visit our trails that we have, go skating, go to dinner, go to lunch, and highlight all of our small businesses. And any footage that we get, we're going to share it with all of those businesses so that way they can advertise on their own social media websites, because we want them to get benefit from it too. And the whole point of the video is to boost tourism in the area, to really highlight some of the cool trails that we have, all of the awesome bridges, hopefully get people into town.
And maybe the marketing of the town could also go towards looking for certain businesses.
Yes, yep. Yep, so we'll highlight some things to bring businesses into town, so we get new businesses in, which would be great.
Yeah.
So we have one in mind already that we would definitely want to focus on.
Yes.
Is it a secret?
Well, I mean, if you think about it like this, town of Plainfield has one grocery market. So there's another one we should like to market as the first one in Connecticut.
Yep, so right now we are working with multiple departments in the town hall to create a proposal to send to one particular. If that doesn't work out, we'll send it to others and hopefully get some more competition in town, help with pricing. Pricing can be difficult when there's only one or supermarket in the area, so.
Any other comments or questions on the EDC action plan? If not, we'll move on to the next item, which is correspondence. So, as was mentioned earlier, we did get correspondence of the Be Happy, Be Well Festival. It says, hello, Plainfield Recreation and Senior Center is hosting a Be Happy, Be Well Festival in Plainfield Lions Park on Saturday, May 17th, 1 to 3 p.m. Our goal for this event is to provide the community with resources, knowledge, and a relaxed, fun environment for the event. We are going to focus on well-being aspects such as mental, physical, emotional, nutrition, and self-care, giving the community a fun space to explore local resources. We would like to have a multitude of stations to offer the community to explore. Everyone's health and happiness are important, and support is found in different ways by all. So we are open to have stations of all kinds. This is a free community event, so we ask that you only promote your business, no sales while at the event, but you are welcome to have them purchase at any other time and encourage everyone to visit your business or website. Our hope is that every station at the event offers information, an activity, hands-on feature or experience, or a demonstration of some kind to draw them into your company, resources, and available to open up conversation. Swag is always something everyone looks forward to at events. Please let me know if you are able to attend and if you have any contacts or you may want to be a part of the day as well. Amber, our assistant director from the rec department. Funny, you mentioned swag.
Yeah, so we talked about swag items that we need to sell.
Yeah.
Or just donate the money to something. That would be nice. So she's inviting us to have a table there?
Yeah, so we have a table, we just can't sell anything at it.
Yeah.
So
Can
I
you
was-
raise money, like don't have donations?
that would be a question we'd have to ask them, but I was thinking, as EDC, we can look at our business list and come up with like any mental health resources that we have in town, self-care things like massage businesses like Equilibrium, Marie's. We can go into both like their stores, ask them for flyers they may have, and we could have a table that highlights all of our local businesses that support it. We can also look into getting like stress balls that we can give out with our the town's logo on it if we wanted to. But I thought it'd be good because some businesses may not be able to attend. So at least because our commission does represent businesses, I feel like it would be nice for us to highlight our local businesses that won't be able to attend.
Yep, so that's on our list of upcoming events, as we had mentioned earlier. I'm definitely going to plan to go, and certainly hope other members can make it as well.
So if everyone would like a table, I can let Amber know that we will take one, and then we can figure out timing and who wants to be there. And
Yeah,
go from there. I think it's only 1 to 3.
1 to 3, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm definitely good.
Is it Saturday?
Yes.
Oh, yes.
Tom, if you have any other correspondence, if not, I have one more.
No, that was it for what I had. Yeah.
Thank you. One more that came in today. For those people who are aware that we are now working with the state of Connecticut, every town is looking to do something for America 250. And so we have the fortunate group that's helping tremendously with the town of Plainfield, which is the Daughters of American Revolution. So they will have a series of events that are coming up so they can do fundraisers, so that they can make it so that on sometime in 2026, they will have an announcement for the train ride, the scenic train ride, which will actually be picking up right over here in the downtown area. So when the information comes up, I'll share those events with you, and also that, especially that event. So that's good for tourism. Like, if you don't mind, the first one they have is May 18th. It's a benefit breakfast, the ones that they usually hold at the Masonic Lodge. So that's from 8 to 11 at Masonic Lodge to help benefit the raising awareness and also raising funds for the America 250 train ride.
I think just their fundraisers are very important to fund this because the state of Connecticut does not have any funds for the 250th anniversary. The only local organization that is getting funds is Last Green Valley. So once that opens, we'll look into grants for them, but they're not receiving any money from the state.
They didn't put anything aside for that?
No. They put the money into other things. Other surrounding states did put money into it. Connecticut did not, so.
And actually, it's funny you mentioned the Last Green Valley grant. At the last 250 meeting, they did report that was granted, so
Yeah.
that was great.
Yeah, so.
It's not a ton of money, but it's every little bit, obviously.
Exactly, so if you can support their fundraisers, I highly recommend it.
And of course, the training event that Kevin was talking about, which will be fall in 2026, it's not cheap to get that, so.
Lots of fundraisers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Another one, the Historical Society has been, as far as helping do towards this, we've been, Ruth and I have been providing old pictures for a calendar. So there will be a calendar fundraiser that will have images of town in it. So once that becomes available, it's going to be the job of a lot of the members there. Just we're going to go around, obviously, try to sell as many as possible. So that'll be neat. I think every commission member should certainly have one of those calendars.
Yes. And we need to circulate those bags.
Oh, yeah.
Even if you just gave them to the commission members
Yeah.
or something.
Yeah, it's good.
Or, yeah, I mean, they're there. They
Yeah.
need to be used.
Yep, we give them out at every single ribbon cutting. The businesses get that with a Plainfield brochure, the money tree plant, and then like the money tree story with it. And then normally a pen and a notebook that are all Plainfield coded. And then now that we have some more events coming up, we'll be able to actually start selling them again now that the weather is getting nicer.
Could bring some to a PBA meeting.
Yeah.
Some of them would like
BNI meeting.
Yeah.
Yeah. something like that. All right, that's all I had as far as any correspondence. Anything else that I've forgotten?
Make a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn?
I'll second that.
Second? All right, all in favor say aye.
Aye.